Hi guys, my name is John Girardi. I am a person that's going to teach you a very special secret today. Now, I was a person who studied the military in college. Online, I have a professional certification in military intelligence analysis. And that's what this video is about, but I'm going to be using a special tool. But I'm also going to be explaining it so it opens up your mind so you could use this special tool better. And then I'm going to give you the way I actually discovered this special tool, which is going to help you to understand how to use it in everyday life. Now, I also am a hypnotist professional and an NLP professional. I also have certifications in CBT therapy and stuff like that. Now, I don't do it for a living. I have a lot of certifications, doctor certifications, and I'm a martial arts doctor. And I have certifications in National Ayurveda, doctor skills and massage. I know how to decode the non-pill medicine monk hospitals. I like to call them that, though it really is that way. In China, that do not use medicine and herbs and plants. They use all procedures. And I studied psychology, and I studied combat psychology in the military and intelligence analysis and leadership skills. But this is a very important. This is probably the best thing and the only thing you'll ever have to know. Okay. I also am an American Indian psychiatrist. So I'm going to teach you a hypnotic specialty that I found, and it's called the Achievement Geometry Pendulum. Okay. Now, if you don't believe in achievement geometry, I'm about to change your mind. All right. I don't even like to say that word, but I'm about to change your brain and how you think. Okay. When a pendulum in hypnosis is shaped in a certain manner, how this pendulum is shaped will be the effect upon you and what you are capable of doing. Okay. Now there is a Carl Jung fact, and Carl Jung psychology is the study of psychology through imagery and shapes, and the blotches of illusionary shapes that they use to test you out in psychology, and they ask you what you see in the picture. Okay. If you were to take one of these black blotches, okay, and they are illusionary shapes, okay, and you were to shape those shapes in a certain way, in a certain facet, okay, then there's no such thing as illusion anymore. And that's how I came up with achievement geometry, I like to call it, or deed geometry. But, okay, anytime you come up with a certain kind of shape combined with illusionary shapes, then altered, so there's no such thing as illusion, you can go past that. Okay? If there's that kind of shape. And I call that, though, a configuration. Okay, a shape and a configuration is kind of a whole other ball game. Okay? It's not really the same thing. All right? Because if you look at it in a visual knowledge way, it's not really the same thing. Okay? So you take a configurated hypnosis pendulum to outdo achievement geometry and to even outdo that the fact that you can achieve anything because there's no such thing as illusion. And what this pendulum does is it satisfies words. You can think any word you want, okay? You are not words, but it will satisfy words. So if you say, I'm cured, and then you, boom, you put the configurated pendulum across your face, okay? That will say, and it will do upon you, and you will become I'm cured if you have a problem, okay? Or you want to be a military specialist, or you want to do anything, all right? Also, the special forces, when they are in their jungle ways of doing things, and they actually have to go against a group of people, and they are by themselves. They do not use ninjutsu, okay? They do in a sense, but they use hypnotic combatives and hypnotic trance. They will self-hypnotize themselves so that people, so they can do their hypnotism so they do not get noticed, besides the fact that they're camouflaged, and besides the fact that they're stepping without being heard, or they are going in certain circles, in certain formations, and stuff like that. So they witness, and then they do, and that has to do with hypnotism, okay? It's one of the most serious things in the Special Forces. It's also a combatives art with hand-to-hand combat, okay? So, even in a way, the ancient ninja used it, okay? And ancient ninjutsu, you know, was mostly a weapon system, but also if you really want to be a finding skill specialist in an ancient way, where the ninjutsu that you found belongs in the ancient world, I suggest you do brutality and fierce and vicious findings. But you could use this video to do so if you're a ninjutsu practitioner or martial artist, or in the military, whatever. So, but the point of the video is that each configurated understanding of the pendulum and how it is in a certain facet, you will be able to understand it. You'll be able to do words. Okay, you're not words, but you will perform words better, and you will perform more words. It is not body language. Okay, no. There's no such thing as body language. Okay, if body language was real, then the military would be blowing up the other side of the globe with a punch with body language. It's not real. Okay, it never was and never will be. I don't care if it's taught to you by an FBI brilliance or an FBI wizardo or a CIA wizard. It is not real. Okay, think about that for a second. I would throw a punch from here, and my body language would happen, even words to say, because it is body language to say, okay, I'm not stupid. Don't go there. And the whole place would blow up. All right? Now, I also can hit somebody across seas from far away without using words. I just know how to do it because of this video. Okay? But also, if I configure the pendulum by the word, not as the word, okay, I will do it. And you can think new imaginative ideas that you can satisfy with the configured pendulum. It's just the way it goes. Okay? This means that you can't combat hypnotism. And it's most definitely, say, a medical healing art for absolutely anything. I don't care the problem. They will unclog a heart. Okay, it will, your blood pressure will go down. Anything you won't need a liver transplant. You won't need kidneys removed. It'll take away cancer, everything. Okay, but there's more to life than that, and there's more to our existence these days. It will make an AI video real, where we could do anything with an AI video. Okay, a chatbot, anything you want to understand. Okay, we can. I wouldn't suggest a time travel freaking stupid thing, but it will also have specialized children, okay? And it will make people specialized people. You can skinwalk into things that nobody has ever skinwalked before into, all right? Just think about this for a second and realize that however this pendulum is configured is however you will get out of the pendulum. But also, you can bring the configured way as a thought way, and you first then think and use a word, that's fine. Or use a thought that isn't a word, that's fine too. All right? But you could also use it as a massage. Okay, the body is a piece of psychology, and nobody lets you know. The CIA will not let you know. They don't really know like you think anyway. Okay? But if you take an appearance look of your brain and your body, your body is mathematics, art, because we're of color, and mathematics because we have 10 fingers, 2 eyes. We are also sound, mathematics, art, sound, okay, because we can talk and we can have sounds on our body and we hear sounds, okay? Then we are also geometry because we are a shape, all right? Then we are physical religion without God crap, no God stuff, all right? Then we are spirit, okay, without Holy Spirit, all right? Now, you can go a little bit further with eyesight, but all those are eyesight. All those are your mouth. Okay? All those are hearing, and all those are thinking. And smelling at that. Okay? So, you can think of a logic bullshit story, a philosophy bullshit story. It will end up those 6 subjects all the time. Any kind of subject you think about. Okay? I don't care. I wouldn't suggest that you be a wise ass and you come up with clear subject, because the air is clear, it still makes a sound, you can still see it, it's still a shape, okay, it's still a color, because clear is a color, because you can see it. All right, now I'm wanting to get into the 6 subjects, but in also 6 ways, okay, which is order, all right, sequence, type, style, facet, form, okay, motion and notion, and words like that. I just call it the 6 subjects in 6 ways. But you want the facet and the motion and notion is really the most important 3, besides type and style, okay? Because if you feed the word facet any knowledge it wants, which you want to do, okay, like it's a knowledge-sucking up machine, the word facet, you will be so happy you did so, okay? Because in certain facets, you can massage yourself like nobody has ever massaged anything before, all right? And you will get a better effect to your life, okay, your wellness. Also, the words that you think that I've been talking about in the video with a configured pendulum, they are in a certain facet. A number 1 type is in a certain facet, a color shade, and all its facet. Okay, sequences, motion, and notion. So really, when you get this down and you have your pendulum way, and then you find it, you don't create it, you don't invent it into other things, you don't produce it. You find it into your hands, you massage yourself. You can then give yourself tattoos in a certain order that do special things for you. Okay? Now, we are not tattoos. We are not paintings. So, you know, our therapy is not going to work for anything. Tattoo therapy is not going to work, okay? Because we are not tattoos, and we are not ink, and we are not paint, okay? What we are is a separate artistic way called humans and human art. So I want you to understand that. If you were to advance everything that you could about human art, the 6 subjects in the 6 ways also, with the pendulum, with the way I was telling you from the finding of the pendulum into the finding of the massage, you'll be very happy you did so. Okay, also, you want to advance past this with a configurated pendulum. I know it sounds funny. Okay, but again, I said to support and to fulfill and satisfy how words get done. Okay? Don't think it can't happen. If you were to use a class that I took from Princeton online, now I took it for free, don't get me wrong, but it's called Imagining Other Earths. Okay? Think about that. Think about imagining other outer spaces and dimensions and beings and creatures, and it will help you in these beings, creatures, dimensions, and earths and outer spaces will do other things, and it will help you. Okay? But you always have to remember you need a tool to help that whole entire thing. You need the pendulum, you need the massage, you need the thinking way. Okay, you need that whole thing in there. Now, the thing is that each configurated pendulum, all right, well, I'll do a conversation again. I'm going to keep doing this through the video. It's going to keep out doing it. All you have to do, this is all you have to do. Now, the 6 subjects in 6 ways, okay? That's a language, though. And you can translate anything you want into this language, okay? You can combine any words to come up with a new word never known, okay? To find a new word never known. Or you can just understand how to do it anyway and think up a brand new word. You can have ESP, which has absolutely nothing to do with a bunch of special ability crap. It's just understanding how to think and answer that something thought from another dimension. That's all. And it's usually for us here, you want to use a facet again word. Feed facet. Feed the word facet to come up with how facets are going to get done. Okay? So if you wanted to find out what was going on in the dimension that's like 16 different dimensions through, then come up with the word. But it has to be a how word. Okay? So, what we really want to understand is that when you look around you and you see things in front of you, you don't want to think the what of them. You want to think the how of them, the how as of them. Okay? You will develop a brain's eye from it. Okay? But you have to do a certain thing though. You have to close you have to stare at something. Okay? 30 seconds without your eyes closing and think the how as of it or the how of it. Okay? Not what. This is not a what video. There's no such thing as what. Okay? There's no such thing as it. So, when you close your eyes, you then think the how as way or the how way of how you were looking at. The thing you were looking at, okay, it's not a what thing, it's a how thing. And you think it in that how way. Close your eyes and do it again. Open your eyes and do it again, okay? And then start to grasp the fact that you can do it with anything you see in front of you. And you will develop a brain's eye. Okay? Also, you can outdo the brain's eye, but I want you to do it anyway. Because then you will think the how-ism of a word that then this word will get achieved, okay, and that's it. You will outdo the brain's eye. You will have certain kinds of eyes, okay? So really any kind of way that you shape this pendulum, okay, in a how way, you will get a how done. If you want to have a specialized brain that nobody knows about, but you don't change the human birth of it, but the capabilities of it, and the doctors cannot see that in a camera at the hospital, then do so. I've done it myself too. And you want to use the video to do so. If you want to outdo that, then you do so. Okay? If you want to become as strong as possible, say infinitely speaking, I don't like to use that word, but no limit speaking, do so. But you do not have to work out anymore. Okay? At all. Watch your diet a little, I'd say. Okay? But then you can also massage yourself so you can be satisfying your body so there's nothing wrong with it. Okay? Get the outside effects away from you from people with this asinine telepathy shit bothering you. Okay, first of all, it isn't real. Second of all, they're whacked out of their skull. They have royal mental illness. Okay? And what they're really doing, and with this telepathy crap, I don't give a shit how they find out how to do it. They're giving you their brain. Okay? I don't care how they find out how to do it. They're giving you their body and they're giving you their brain. First of all, that's fucking sick as a dog. And second of all, it's gross. Okay? And you would say to yourself, well, why aren't they dead? I don't care how you think. It's a bunch of bullshit. That's why they're not dead. Okay? Now, I don't believe in death. I go by immortality. Okay? But that's something to say in another way. And video. You could do that with this video anyway. Okay? Telepathy is fake because when the person fucking uses it, okay, and they're annoying the shit out of you and you know they are, they should be dead because they just gave you their fucking brain and their body. It's idiocy, okay? So, but I don't believe in death. I don't believe in Catholic. I don't believe in death. I don't believe in Buddha. I only believe in, that there is no such thing as illusion and become how you think and see and all that stuff. Okay, I am a very firm believer in noetic life, which means anything is possible. Okay, and I find out everything I can about it, and I live that way. All right, but I am a very serious-ass hypnotist. I love it to death, and I always have. Okay, and I am very serious about studying the military, and I happen to be one of the most dangerous people on the face of the earth. I don't care what anybody says. They just don't know me. Okay? I'm extremely dangerous, and I wouldn't be able to fight in a ring. All right? I have eye problems anyway, okay, and I actually help my eyes, and I happen to have eye problems, but I know when I take my glasses off, and I use my glasses to fix my eyes, because I could see with my glasses on, and I use that, and I take them off, I can see regularly in like a formation, like the perimeter of things. Okay, but then, that means that I don't have glaucoma, and I never needed eye surgery on my eyes, on my retinas. Okay, every single time I go to the doctor, I'm absolutely fine anyway. So I take my medicine, but this is the thing. This all works. This is a pendulum, my glasses, to say. That's how this works. How all this stuff is all how, not what. All right? And if you think about it this way, your glasses are on your face, right? And you can see. Why are my eyes not fixed? When my glasses are on, they are, because I can see. So you got to think about this for a second. People and the CIA and like aliens that live here are fucking with your head. Okay, and I'm trying to help you with this no more. So you're not like this anymore. Okay? They're fucking with your head royally. They're fucking with your body. They're fucking with your head. And, you know, if you really found out about this shit severely, then you get really pissed like I did. About everything. About everything. Not everywhere from having a baby to getting a tattoo. Okay, to studying a combat art, to understanding high school, for Christ's sakes. Okay, and what high school really does to you. It's just all fucking bullshit. All right, and I want you to understand that you're brainwashed right now. And I actually am hypnotizing you through this entire video, so you're not. Okay? So, you know, I really want you to understand that. Now, I am not putting you in a trance, as you could see. And I am not doing this conscious shit, unconscious, subconscious crap. Okay? I am teaching you with a hypnosis way through your learning abilities, through your ears, your eyes. Okay? Because that's how they hypnotized you in school, so you don't know shit. Okay, about any of this. If you were to shape a tattoo on your arm, like to configure it on your arm, like I said about the pendulum, by, with, and even as that tattoo, create a whole existence because of how it's configured. It's called achievement configurations. Okay? So, by this tattoo, you could just take off to the next dimension, right? And you could still be in your house. And people will see you, but that doesn't mean that you need to go through a stupid portal into something you can't see that's next to you, but it's still there. You're in it, and they don't even know. But they can see you, but they don't know what you know and you're thinking. They don't know who's there. Okay? They don't know how it may heal your entire body. They don't know how it may make you super intelligent, where you could take the information, re-listen to this video, and whoop its ass with this video, and then be better than the dimension, go to the next one, learn, blah, 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 blah. I'm serious, by the way. Okay? I do it all the time. So, the configuration way, how it is, okay, is how you get out of it, are the things that will happen for you. In hypnosis, it's called cause and effect. But what we want to do is it's a facet because it's a configuration. So how the configuration is facetated, and I'm going to say it like that, in such the facet, okay, or facetated, okay, it's facet and it's cause and effect, but then it's facet and achievement, okay? So you want to hypnotize in that way, self-hypnotism or, you know, things like that. Massage yourself like that. Think the word as that way, all right? So that's the end of the video. But, you know, I mostly use my whole entire video that I'm talking to you in today. Myself personally, use this however you want. Okay, that's fine. That's why I'm doing it. But I use it for the discoveries of how to be as dangerous as I possibly can as a fighter. And I'm not going to say any more after that. I also use it for discovering, you know, brand new dimensions and stuff, and just how much really of a place of bullshit the earth is in many ways. And it's not your fault at the same time. It's everywhere from the ancient world to today with the asinine CIA garbage. Okay, but I'm sorry to say, I hope this doesn't upset you, but I don't care. I love to be the most dangerous person in the world. And it's just the way I've always been since I was a kid. And I'm never going to stop doing it. I am a Demok master. I don't know if you understand what that is. I'm a Demok doctor. I'm an Ayurvedic weapon. I'm also just any kind of ancient weapon, but I also find the ancient world as a weapon that belongs in the ancient world. I am the founder of something called Become Your Disguise, literally. Okay, I know how to do that. I'm not screwing around. I don't necessarily need to make a disguise to do it either. I just don't want people to know like you think. So I'm not going to... This video explains everything on how to do it. Okay, but when you do it, you better be very freaking careful if you don't know the contentment, the understanding, and the moralness of martial arts. Okay, and really, I made this video, to say to you that you fucking can do whatever you want, okay? Don't think, and I'm cursing, and that's just the way it's going to be, okay? Is that you can achieve anything. That's why they study noetic ways in the secret societies, okay? First of all, you don't know me, all right? I'm not, I'm in a secret society, okay? I'm not going to tell you which one it is at all, but I am, okay? At the same time, in this secret society, we don't communicate in person. So you're going to never know who these dudes are. Okay, there's females in it, and there's males in it. Okay, we go by creatures. We go by aliens, dude. We send understandings of fucked up languages through the world. Okay, like a way to process an understanding of something. It's not really so much with those, but it's this video anyway at the same time. They know where to look that I'm making this video, but this is for you too. But you're not going to find out who they are. They're not going to make any comments or anything. But at the same time, they have ways of coming in contact with my shit that I make on purpose. Okay? So they're in other countries, all right? And, I just I'm not going to tell you who they are, though. No friggin' way. But, they're not evil. We don't believe in evil. We don't believe in good versus evil. We don't believe in words versus words. We don't believe in right versus wrong. It has nothing to do with any of that shit. It's really, the answer is the answer you give yourself. And if you want that gift, you give it to yourself like you give it to yourself every day, like you always get it. Like you always get your Christmas wish every single day. Okay? That's how you answer something. It's just the way it goes. Makes sense? Once you understand that there is no right or wrong answer, just the answer you give yourself. And then you can come up with a video like mine. And then you come up with a video better than mine. Okay? So, just remember that you are brainwashed, and the leaders of the countries want you to know that you're brainwashed. So, they don't want you to know that you're going to stay away from that brainwashedness. And there is secret societies that are not good, and I hate their fucking guts, and I want to hurt them, physically, with my hands, okay? That doesn't mean I'm going to go out and murder someone. No, it does not. I don't do anything of the sort. But I would like to, hurt them. I'm being serious, okay? But at the same time, I have a moral reason, not an evil reason, or a good reason at that, like a good versus evil. Morals of me is animals, tigers, snakes, stuff like that. Okay, like I know certain types of rattlesnakes that you never even heard of, that when they bite you, okay, that your troubles are poisoned away, not your body, and you die. It's a cool rattlesnake, isn't it? Well, do it on your body, but it doesn't have to be a slither. Be a circle, a little rub down, okay? Try it. Your mentality will be so very special, okay? Also, I want you to understand that the witnessing of all this as your thought. Witness meditation, it's called. Use witnessing of anything like I'm doing in the video. I did the whole video like that. Witness these ways to say, okay, I picture myself as a thought, not a box, not a picture in your head. Like a picture on a wall. It's a thought, okay, that you're cured. Massage yourself to fulfill this thought like it's how, and it's a fact like it's cured. That's a massage. That's a monk massage, okay, in the ways that I'm talking about. I massage my family like that, okay. I don't, I can do that. I don't have to tell them to picture something. I'll just massage them so it just happens, okay. When somebody is blind, you have to do that sort of. You have to massage them so they think certain things. When somebody is deaf, you have to do that. If they're deaf if they're blind and deaf, you have to do that. Okay? I know this sounds mean, but if they're dumb, deaf, and blind, you have to do that severely. Okay? Massage them so they think certain things to help that whole dumb, deaf, and blindness. And it's not fake. Don't fucking think it's fake. Because if you're going to think this whole video is fake, then just shut it off. Okay? And don't worry about it. Just go live your life. Anyway, it is the end of the video. So we want to chill. All right? What you want to understand is that you can do anything. And now you know. And the people of the world that are in charge of the so-called powers, okay, they are keeping you from it. And I don't want to do that to you. All right? So, why would I? That's a dick. I don't want to be a dick. All right? So that's the end of the video. This will not be on Facebook, okay? This will not be anywhere but YouTube. And it's going to be in the probably restricted. I'm probably going to put a restriction on it. So remember that, if you can think of a medical pill, okay, that gets you pregnant without sperm, then it's just the way it goes. There's a medical pill that can get you pregnant, or a natural supplement combination. Why do we have to have sex? Sex is kind of gross, by the way. Also, we can get pregnant. Women can get pregnant by the pendulum configured to do so. This will give them specialized babies like Jesus and Buddha to say. Okay, why wouldn't a woman want to have a baby like that? Or the one baby that women are women to have, because sperm can't do that. These are the reasons why I make these videos. Okay? And when you grasp and you start thinking about things that I said in the video, you will follow the video more. You will follow things. You will start researching. Okay? And say, what the fuck, this world is ridiculous. What the fuck are they doing? And you're going to say it over and over. And you're going to hypnotize yourself more and more. You're going to find out more and more. You're going to use more how words and more how ways. And you're going to understand. Okay, all right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.